Hello everyone, and welcome back to Sacred Saturdays, a weekly video series where I come in and talk about self-care tips that I perform myself. So today I thought that I would talk about something that I'm experiencing and how I have worked within it, because even though things are starting to open up again and things are starting to feel like they're moving towards normal, there is no vaccine for COVID-19 yet. We may be facing a second wave, and people are still under a lot of pressure. So what I'm bringing you today is an empath training for 5 ways to stay high vibe during a pandemic by Witchy Wisdoms. So number 1, and I think that this one is really, really pertinent in order to move forward. But number 1 is knowing that you're an empath. If you are very, very sensitive around other people, if you absorb other people's emotions and their feelings as your own, you're probably an empath. And now this takes a lot of self-discovery and a lot of your own searching to identify as an empath. But essentially, an empath is an extremely sensitive person that takes on the emotions of others. It can be an extremely beautiful thing, especially if you're a healer. But in times where everyone is stressed as fuck, it can be really, really difficult in order to move forward and to know what feelings are actually yours. So step 1, knowing that you're an empath, is at least recognizing the fact that the possibility that someone's frustration is theirs and not yours. So recognition is the first step. Number 2, and this might seem pandering, but I'm just gonna be honest here, eating well and exercising is going to raise your vibration in ways that are non-negotiable. I understand that comfort food is great. I understand that it's, when you feel like the whole world is caving in on you, that getting up to exercise is difficult. But when you do each of those things, and I'm sure you can recall a time that you were eating really well or exercising regularly, you felt better. Well, that's what we want to aim for, is feeling better. Sometimes if we want to eat that pizza, I say go ahead, but you don't want it to be self-sabotaging. And if we give in to all of these things to where we feel sluggish and we're not doing anything to support our highest self, then we're basically creating this really low vibration that we can't really seem to get out of. We're not giving ourselves energy. So aiming towards having a healthier lifestyle is definitely going to help you in this very crazy and unprecedented situation. Number 3, I've noticed this in a lot of different spaces, especially now that things are opening. To-go cocktails are a thing in Jersey City, but drinking in moderation. Drinking is the thing that you do to pass the time. Sometimes we pass the time with friends, back in the day when things were normal. But now I'm noticing an uptick in people drinking alone at home just because they want to pass the time. As an empath, this lowers your vibration very greatly and makes you even more sensitive to anything else. How many times have you had 1 glass of wine too many, sat on the news, and just consumed media, and then you're just in a hole? We want to keep that from happening. Not that we are completely negating reality, but that we're trying to keep ourselves in a space where we can tackle the things that come at us. We have to have some sort of foundation in order for us to thrive or at least survive during this time. Number 4 is flipping the script and using mantras. So I've noticed a lot of negative self-talk. I've noticed a lot of anger thrown at other people. There's definitely been a rise in trolls because, we are feeling individual traumas on a global scale. So if a troll is going to get his anger out, they're going to use it on social media. And a lot of those things are really easy to consume and to keep inside, especially as an empath. You feel their anger, and what we want to do instead of falling into that rabbit hole and listening to that cycle that's happening in our brain is we want to then combat it with a mantra or something powerful that we can, use as defense against something like that. So, whether it is I am safe or I am worthy or anything that really fits the bill for you, whatever you need in that moment. And it doesn't have to be 1, it doesn't have to be 10. You can mix and match. This really is customizable and all just to keep you thriving. And then finally, number 5, and this is the biggest one, make stricter boundaries to accommodate for these unprecedented times. Maybe you have a friend who's generally very low vibe, and being around her in normal circumstances is fine, and you can handle what she throws at you because you have fairly good boundaries, and that's okay. But under these times, when you're more sensitive and you're taking on more people's emotions, maybe we're cutting the communication off with her. And that's okay, because all you're doing is protecting yourself. You don't have to send a really angry text that says, "I'm never speaking to you again," and make it extremely dramatic, but maybe you're just not available to answer one text. Or maybe you're just not available to hop on that Zoom phone call. Saying no and creating really strict boundaries around your energy is going to be of the utmost importance until we ride this out to the end. And your boundaries are going to shape and shift with you. They're going to shape and shift with the times. As things open up and we feel better about ourselves and stronger and more able, then those boundaries may soften. But as of right now, especially for empaths, in order for us to maintain our sanity, our well-being, our higher vibrations, these are the things that are really going to help you. So I hope that this is helpful for you guys today. I really am trying to work on these myself. I'm right there with you, and I just wish you all the best, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.